I teased before the break here that Pringles was coming out with 3 different new flavors, and these are some like strange and weird flavors, and I'm all about the weird and strange flavors here. And so I also have Scott Hoolihan from the Rotary Club, and he is putting on the charity chili cook-off. So I'm going to get his take on some of these flavors. So the first one that's coming up is Pringles 7-layer dip. Okay, so that one seems pretty okay. You know, fairly standard, fairly normal. We have Pringles loaded potato skins. Again, okay, we got the seasoning for potato skins. I can see that. And then here's where things get a little weird. We got Pringles Miller Lite beer can chicken. What do you think, Scott? What do you think? First off, welcome to the studio. I'm sorry to slap you with such strange flavor combinations here, but what do you think of Miller Lite beer can chicken flavored Pringles?
I don't know, man. Every time you try something that's unusual or a little strange, everybody says, "What's it taste like?" Tastes like chicken. I don't know if I want to have a potato chip and have it taste like chicken.
You just want it to taste like a potato chip. Well, we're here. We're talking about the 12th annual SCV Rotary Charity Chili Cook-Off. Oh my gosh, that's a mouthful. You're gonna want to put a mouthful of chili. Hey, tell me a little bit about the Charity Chili Cook-Off before we get, so we can get a little background of, so for listeners that may have not been listening on the last times you were on.
Hey, thanks again for having me, Menji. It is a mouthful, right? And it starts with the 12th annual. So this has been going on. This is the 12th annual Charity Chili Cook-Off. We're so fortunate to have our host again, the SCV Senior Center. If you haven't been out there, it's a great venue. So we're really lucky. They got a beautiful courtyard. It'll be all lit up. We'll have some space warmers. I'm anticipating it to be a chilly winter's evening. Little play on words there. And, we've got a live band. And right now, I was telling you, we still have a few slots for anybody out there listening that fancies themselves as a chili cook chef.
Oh yeah.
If you've impressed the family, why don't you come out and try to impress the judges? And we've got 2 classes of trophies, right? So first, second, and third, judges' choice. That'll be 3 local judges. In fact, somebody I think here, right? So the KHTS, it's our media judges panel this year. So we've got Mr. Carl Goldman coming out. He's going to taste some chili. And we've got 3 other folks, part of our sponsor panel from The Signal and also Elite Magazine, Santa Clarita Magazine coming out. And then the People's Choice, that's the one, who popular choice, right? Who you get the chance to vote on your chili.
Yeah, honestly, like that's the important one, right? It's okay.
Bragging rights.
Yeah, you may have won the competition one, but the people really liked me, But I think you guys could not have planned this out a lot better because it's raining all week. It's gonna be wet. It's gonna be cold. Saturday we finally get that break. It's gonna be sunny. It will still be cold, so why not warm yourself up with a bowl of chili down at the Senior Center? And so I brought up the Pringles thing because last time you were here, we went over the worst chili you have ever tasted ever, and just a quick recap on the worst chili.
Yeah, that was I believe the main component was liver.
Oh, man.
There was a very large bean, which I'm not entirely sure. It was about the size of a nickel. I don't know what it was called, but it wasn't real tasty. And my daughter, who was helping me with the judges, bringing them in, she said, "Dad, somebody, whatever that last chili was, the judges spit it out as soon as they tasted it." So, and then that gentleman told me, He put it out for the Crows the next day, and they didn't want it.
Okay, so if you want to snatch up those last slots for the chili cook-off, pro tip: don't do that. Do not use liver. So those who have not had liver before, it's very irony. It's very gritty, and the texture's not. It's truly an acquired taste. Truly. Truly. So I bring up the Pringles because I also want to go on the complete opposite end. What would you say is the most wildest or even creative chili that you've had to taste over the years?
I was really surprised. There was a winner. I think it was the 10th annual. Let's see if I'm correct on that. And it was a Nebraska favorite. And there were a couple Cornhuskers there. They were dressed like corn. And they brought in their chili, and they served it atop a cinnamon roll. And
really?
They actually won.
Roll.
I believe they won first or second with judges and People's Choice, And then I come to find out, I guess that's a thing in Nebraska. You go into a cafe and you get your chili, and instead of a slice of cornbread, they're going to put it on top of a cinnamon roll.
That's okay. That is pretty strange, pretty wild. And you said you tasted it and it worked.
Yeah, it was one of those things where it kind of had that sweet and savory kind of thing going on. Had a little heat at the end. It was it was one of those things where you're like, nah. Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, that's not bad.
Yeah, I totally get the sweet and the savory, but I'm like, cinnamon roll, that feels like it's too sweet versus the savory, where it's like the cornbread, okay, you get some sweet of the cornbread, but it's not an overpowering kind of a thing. But that's crazy. So that's the kind of stuff that you may expect at the charity chili cook-off. So if you're just joining us, we've been talking to Scott Hoolihan, who is putting on the charity chili cook-off with the Rotary Club down at the Bella Vita Senior Center this Friday. It's happening this Friday. So where can people get tickets? Where can they get information on that?
Hey, go to the website. Again, mouthful, right? www.scv Charity Chili Cook-Off, all together.com. You can buy tickets there in advance. I think right up until Thursday, VIP tickets will be up for sale. General admission is $40. You get to taste all the chilies, live band. There'll be beer and wine. It'll be a good time. Bunch of really neat auction items up for grabs there. And, there will be plenty of chili. And I got word from the returning champions, Chef Gio over at the Box Stop restaurant at Galpin Porsche here. So they actually won first place, People's Choice, first place judges last year. So he's gunning for a repeat win, and he promises that he's bringing out a new chili. So that's always fun. So okay. if you're an amateur kitchen chef, you're getting to compete with some professionals. I think we've got about 3 professional chefs that bring their stuff. They're gunning for a win, and you get to compete with them. And we've got some great sponsors. I got to give a shout out to all those great sponsors. The mortgage doctor out at PRMG Mortgage, my friends and my teammates at Loan Depot, the Valencia Town Center, big sponsors. Big shout out to all of them, and thank you there. Logix Credit Union, Rona Jukes, she's awesome, that group. I hope I'm not missing anybody. My friends at Farmers Insurance, and I think that, and then of course you guys, I couldn't do it without you. Thanks.
Oh yeah, well, thank you so much. Of course, we have to sponsor food. Okay, so if you are if you consider yourself an SCV foodie and you don't go to this event, I'm stripping you of that title because you have to go to the event right now. One more thing, it sounds like an awesome time. Plenty of food, plenty of stuff to do. It's gonna be a great time. But one thing I do want to emphasize here is the charity aspect of it. So not only are you going to be having a great time, eating some great chili, and listening to music, hanging out with your friends, you're going to be supporting a really great cause and giving back to the community. Could you talk a little bit about where the proceeds go to for this event?
Hey, thanks for getting it back to the core, right? Because it is important. If you haven't been there, and again, the Senior Center is hosting the event. And for those of you that know, they do amazing work. I mean, that group feeds like 1,200 to 1,500 seniors a day out of there with a hot meal. And they provide services for our seniors at no cost. Their budget was cut big time earlier or latter part of last year.
Yeah.
So a big portion of our proceeds from this event will go back to helping fund the Senior Center so they can continue to bring great benefits to our seniors here in the SCV Valley. And then the other part of that will go to the Newhall Rotary Foundation, and that group continues to fund just about every other nonprofit you can think of, from Single Mothers Outreach to the Child Family Center. Everybody at one point or another in the past has benefited from 60 years of generosity from that foundation.
Yeah, I got to tell you, Scott, I am starving right now. I'm absolutely starving. So we've been talking to Scott Hoolihan here with the Rotary Club. They are putting on the 12th annual SCV Rotary Charity Chili Cook-Off. It's happening at Bella Vita this Friday. You can go to scvcharitychilicook-off.com for your tickets right now. I'm sure, although people can just show up and they can buy tickets at the door as well.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. So there's going to be chili. There's going to be auction items, live bands, beers, wine. It's just going to be a great time. Hey, Scott, thanks for coming in. I hope that I can go and enjoy some chili with you.
Thanks, brother.